Yesterday we have started arrays in C. As I told yesterday, array is a user-defined data type. If we want to store multiple elements having same data type and same nature, we prefer to store it in an array. And yesterday we wrote a simple program, declare an array, and we observed that all array elements are having continuous memory locations. We use that basis for accessing array elements. The benefit of an array is that array is a single variable. Second important point is that each element of an array is recognized on the basis of index of an array. So indexing starts always from the 0. So first element is having an index as 0. So you need to remember this. Index of last element of an array will be size of an array minus 1. There are two aspects of array as far as data to be stored is concerned, that array elements can be initialized as well as array elements can be assigned. Assignment is done in some rare situations. Initialization depends. It depends upon nature of the program. Suppose we want to store number of days in all months of a year, that is fixed. So we can create an array, right? So that array will be having size as 12, and each element will be having the number of days from January to December. So that will be a fixed array, in which case we can initialize that array. So assignment and initialization is not that much used. In particular situation, as I gave you an example, initialization is done. But usually array elements are taken input from the keyboard. So how we can do that? So that everything we will see today. So yesterday we have taken input from the keyboard and printed that, right? So marks of 5 subjects we have taken as input. Right. So first are marks, and this is this location, right? Now, so suppose I declare an array as int days of months is an array name. Okay. So initialization can be done like this. Carefully observe that initialization is done in a pair of curly braces, and you can put the comma separated values. So 31, right? Suppose 28, 31, 30, 31, 30, right? So 6 months are there: 31, 31, 30, 31, 30. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So this is how initialization is done, right? So if I want to access these members, right, I can write for I equals 0, I less than or equal to 11 I plus plus printf percent d slash n and days of months. So this is how we can print that, right? So if I write printf number of days in month from January to December. Okay. Okay. We are not considering leap year here. Okay. Suppose what happens? Number of days. We haven't given the index, right? So this inside the loop we have written this. So days of months of 0, days of months of 1, 2, 3, 4. Likewise, it will print the number of days in months from January to December. You can see this. So as I said, only single variable is there, index is there, and you can manipulate this data very easily. So suppose I want to find number of days, total number of days in a year. So I will declare one variable as total days, right? And I can put it inside the loop. So for I equal to 0, I less than or equal to 11. You can write I less than 12 as well. So one and the same thing, right? But you need to be very careful. I less than or equal to 11 I plus plus. I will write total days is equal to total days plus days of months of I, right? I can print the total number of the days. But for that, we need to initialize this to 0, right? So the total number of days in a year is 365, right? Now suppose I want total number of days in a leap year. Okay. So in case of leap year, the number of days in the month of February will be 29, right? So I will write here excluding leap year, right? I will copy paste this. We'll write in a leap year. Do I need to initialize the whole array? Not necessary. No, this time around you can assign. Okay. So how you can assign now? I will write days of months of 1 is equal to 29. Right? So I'll write the same loop. Right? So got that? I'm just showing the how features of an array, how array assigned, how array elements can be assigned, how array can be initialized. That is what I'm showing you. The program doesn't have that much meaning, right? So here it is, number of days, that is the earlier output, excluding leap year. So this is 31, 28, right? 30 up to 31. Number of days in a year is 365. Now number of days in a from January to December in a leap year. So that will be 31. And the second element has been changed because we assigned that value. Okay. At the line number 26, if you can see, days of months of 1. Okay. So we are assigning 29 to the second element of an array. So it prints that total number of days in a year is 57731. Yeah, we didn't initialize that variable to the 0. This is called a programming bug, right? It's called a bug in a programming. Hmm? Now it is fine. Total number of days in months from January to December in a leap year, that is 31, 29, everything is fine. Total number of days is 365. Okay. So I hope you understood that how, what is an array, what is the definition of an array, how array elements are stored, and each element of an array is stored contiguously in a memory. Then indexing of an array starts from 0. Array is a single variable, and each element of an array can be recognized using name of an array and index. Okay, so this is second element of an array. Somebody will say this is a separate variable. In fact, it is not a separate variable. It is just notation of individual element of an array. After all, name of the variable is days of months. That's it. Huh? But individual element of an array, if you want to play along with it, then you have to use the name of an array and its corresponding index. Important thing you need to remember is that indexing starts from 0, right? So this is how uh, uh, basic structure of an array works. Now, next. Okay, what is the index of an array? We didn't catch that. Index of an array is for, it is a kind of a notation. Okay, like suppose you are staying in some support flat system, if I'm not wrong, right? So there is a apartment. You might be staying in an apartment. Okay, so on the first floor there are 4 homes. Okay, these 4 flats have been given particular no number. Not, these are not random numbers. Okay, on the ground floor, perhaps numbers will be 1, 2, 3, 4, or 101, 102, 103, 104. On the second floor, there might be 5, 6, 7, 8, or 201, 202, 203, 204. So what are these numbers? These are also indexing, right? These are indexing. On the basis of indexing, suppose you go to somebody's home, you're a guest or your friend, okay, and he told your address, his address, right? You go to that apartment, okay. So apartment address you have already reached. Now to you, you need to find the particular location of his home. So he might have given, okay, he might have given his flat number as 407. Okay, so tentatively usual standard around the world is that 407 means fourth floor. Okay, and 07 means there might be number of minimum 7 flats or 8 flats or 9 flats or 10 flats on single floor. Okay, suppose it is a 403. It means you will go to the fourth floor first, and then there will be there will be flat having 403. So what is that 403? It is a kind of index, but this index system is used for apartment. Each uh, uh, each system has got its own indexing system. Like suppose there is a colony, okay, there is a colony of row houses, okay, and each suppose in a single colony there are supposed two adjacent colonies, okay, one and two. In each colony, there are suppose 10 row houses, right? So that builder or that society might decide this lane we will call it as A, this lane we will call it as B. And in the A, there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In the B, again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. So that is what? What is that is also indexing. Okay. So indexing is for locating particular location. That's what the indexing is done. Huh? On the page on your book, what is that? That is indexing. Okay. So first page there is one, second page two, three, four, five. What is that? Indexing. When you open the book, okay, there is index on at the beginning of the book, like so there is a chapter number 1, chapter number 2, chapter number 3, okay, and chapter number 1 we will find on page number suppose 8, chapter number 2 you will find on page number 27, chapter number 3 you will find on page number 58. So what is that? That is indexing. That indexing helps you to locate that chapter directly. Similarly, here indexing of array, okay, helps you to locate that element. Okay. Similarly, in this program, we wanted to change contents of February. So we directly access that element using that array name and index. That index help you to change those contents. So that is basically indexing. I hope you understood what do you mean by index, right? Now let's take a review what we have already seen, what we are going to see. So array is a secondary data type, that is clear. I have explained you, right? Array notation, array notation is square brackets. Okay. That is how compiler comes to know that you are dealing along with an array, right? Why notation is required? Because how they will come to know. Okay. If you write array P, compiler will not understand it only because you have written array as a word, because array is not a keyword in C language. Okay. Pointer is not a keyword in C language. On the contrary, int is the keyword, float is the keyword, char is the keyword. So on that basis, compiler understands that you are going to store integer, you are going to store float, you are going to store character. So on that basis of that data type. But there is no such data type like pointer. Probably it would have been better if you declare pointer p, right? So that you can store address in that p directly, right? But there is a problem. Okay, if you declare, I mean, Dennis must have thought that why not create a directly pointer as a data type? But there is a problem. If you declare pointer as a data type, right? Then uh, of which variable or which number you want to store an address, how you will tell the compiler. Because if you declare pointer p, then whether you will store address of integer, whether it will store address of float, whether you will store address of character or what you will store, that compiler will not come to know. That's why pointer has been derived from the basic data type or a primary data type. Similarly, array. Hmm? There is no array as a keyword, right? So that is array notation. Index we have already seen and just we discussed detail. Array assignment I have seen you how individual elements of an array can be assigned. Okay. For example, I will show you uh, the same. Okay, I will write one more program. I will show you one more program as far as assignment is concerned. Suppose I declare a variable as int num. Okay. So how I can store 5 elements in an array? I can store num of 0 is equal to suppose 12, num of 1 equal to 56, num of 2 equal to 76, num of 3 equal to 43, num of 4 equal to 10. We cannot write num of 5 because num of 5 doesn't exist. Right? It doesn't exist. Okay. Because when you declare int num5 as an array, then memory will be allocated only for 5 elements. So it is like no, your friend gives you an address. Okay, come to the apartment, and he told me, he tells you that staying in the 12th floor. Okay, on the 12th floor, and when you goes to his apartment, okay, you find the address perfectly. The name of the apartment is what he has told you, right? The location is same what he has told you, okay. But if you find that apartment has got only 6 floors and there is no question of 12th floor, so what will happen? You will be confused, right? Similarly, here compiler is confused if you write something like this. So if I write something like um, 10, okay, you'll be confused. There is no memory. There is no memory as num10. There is no element as num10, right? So he will be confused. Question is what he will do. I mean, what compiler will do. Okay. The same question I will ask you what you will do when you go to your friend's home and he has told you that he lives on the 12th floor. That apartment has got 8 floors. So what you will do, that is unpredictable. So compiler behaves unpredictably. Okay. So compiler behaves like a human. Okay. Why I'm saying unpredictable? Only because I don't know what you will do. Okay. You will call that friend. Okay. uh, mm, you may not call and go return back to your home, right? Or you go to that watchman or whoever there, and you will show his the the friend you are given address. He will show to that, okay, this is the address. It doesn't tell, so what should I do? So what you will do, you do not know. Similarly, if you write something like this, what compiler will do, we do not know. Okay. But the main this thing is that compiler will not give you an error. Okay, I will show you that. How does it work? Right. So if I write now individual element for scene D, suppose if I write num of 3, right, it will print that Okay, it will print that element num of 3. What is num of 3? 43. So it will print 43. Okay, and if you suppose declare array counter variable, huh? If I write for I is equal to, suppose I write I is equal to 4, I greater than or equal to 1, 0, and I minus minus. This is the use of various uses of array. Array is very useful. So what will happen here? The whole array will be printed in reverse order, right? It will be printed in reverse order, if you can see. Okay. Original array is 12, 56, 76, 43, and 10. We are printing in reverse order. Why? Because we have given index. The first index is indexing is same. We are accessing array elements from reverse order, right? So first time control goes inside the loop. Num of I will be num of 4. What is num of 4? That is 10. So that will be printed. The value of I becomes 3 here now. Okay. 3 is greater than or equal to 4. So it will print num of 3. So it will print 43. So now you are accessing that all array elements in reverse order, right? Suppose, okay, I'll create one more project. Suppose we want to write one program. Suppose the program is like this. Take 10 numbers from the keyboard, write a program to find number of uh, positive, negative, and zeros in the, that's it. Okay, this is program. 10 numbers are taken from the keyboard and find out how many positive numbers are there, how many negative numbers are there, how many zeros are there. Huh? So how I can write? I will declare some counter variable. Usually in case of arrays, counter variable acts as the index of an array. Okay. So this I usually uh, serves dual purpose. It acts as a loop counter. At the same time, it acts as an array of index of an array. Okay. Then let's declare some array as number of 10. Okay, I'll declare one variable as number of positive, number of negative, and number of 0. Right? I'll have to initialize those. O n equal to n or z is equal to. I have to initialize to 0, right? And then I'll write I is equal to 0, I less than or equal to 9, I plus plus. If I write if, what if? We have to first of all take the input from the keyboard, right? For I equals 0, I less than or equal to 9, I plus plus, enter number, scanf, %d, and number of I. Right? 10 numbers are input from the keyboard. The loop is executed 10 times. And then I will write if number of I is greater than 0, then I will say NOP plus plus. Right? If number of I is less than 0, NO N plus plus. If number of I equals 0, NO Z plus plus. Right? And then I will write printf total positive numbers in the list %d and number of positive total negative numbers in the list %d NON total number of zeros in the list %d NOZ. Right? So if I compile this program and run this, so I will write suppose 12 minus 8 0 78 minus 56 0 42 minus 85 minus 96 0. That's it. Total positive numbers in the list. Okay. Negative numbers 4. Total zeros. Right. So as far as positive number is concerned, it is giving something wrong. It is printing junk value. We have written ampersand. Right. So 63. Right. So total number of positive numbers in the list 4, total negative numbers and total number of zeros. And that matches 448 plus 2, that is 10. Okay. So this is how a small application of an array. So array is very useful. Huh? One of the important data structure is array, right? Because in day-to-day life also we store number of elements in the array way, right? Array format. So array is a very useful used in day-to-day life. Okay, when we store books, we store in the form of an array. Uh, and many data structures in programming have been created using examples in the real world. Okay, so computer has not come from the outside world or from cosmos. Okay, programming logic, it has not come from the cosmos, okay, or universe. Perhaps language developers or programmers, they observe the real world and how it functions, how it works, and on that basis they develop algorithm and programming techniques. On that basis they develop data types and everything that is a reflection of real world you will find inside the programming. That's why program everybody should learn programming, but one should not learn like what these days there are some advertisement, junior hat, white hat, some kind of rubbish thing is going on the, in Facebook and TVs and everywhere. That is a fraud basically. Okay, they are not bothered about that everybody should learn programming and everybody can learn programming. That is not true. Okay, but what I mean is that when you learn programming it should be learned the way it should. Okay, or it must. One should not learn programming only because some syllabus is there in the book, they have given some syntaxes and no, write some programs and stop there. That is not programming. Programming is basically something you should correlate it along with real life, then only you can enjoy programming, right? So this is just small example.